You're listening to Entrepreneur's Enigma, a podcast about the ups and downs of the entrepreneurial journey. Every week, your host Seth Goldstein interviews entrepreneurs from all walks of life about their entrepreneurial journeys. From store owners to Fortune 500 CEOs, we all have stories to tell. So sit back and join us for the next 20 or so minutes while we explore the entrepreneurial world.
Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the Entrepreneur's Enigma podcast. I'm, as always, for the past 270 episodes, your host, Seth. Today I have Anthony Franco, who is a 6-time successful exit entrepreneur. 6 times, and that's ridiculous. That's insane, dude. So he's done it a few times. He mastered it, made all the mistakes in the book, fixed the mistakes, learned from his mistakes, and done it 6 times. So that's impressive. He's launched, scaled, and sells businesses, and now is on a mission to help other founders do the same. He has his own podcast, which is always awesome to have podcasters on that, people, guests who are podcasters, because they get it. They know to put their headphones on. They know to have their mics set up correctly. His podcast is How to Founder, and I've started listening to it. It's very good. And he and his co-host deliver twice weekly, because he's insane, deep dives and practical advice on the challenges that founders face. Wow, that's a lot of f in there. With 7 companies launched and 6 successful exits. 7 companies, 6 of them have exited. That's incredible. You now offer seasoned entrepreneurial insights across tech, AI, consumer goods, services, and manufacturing. All that stuff. So the guy knows a thing or two. So how's it going, Anthony? How you doing, buddy?
Good. Thanks for having me, Seth.
Awesome, my friend. Like I said, listen to your podcast. It's really good. High energy, high octane. Lots of.
We have fun. We have a good time.
You have to sit there with a notebook sometimes. When you've done it for a while, like I've been an entrepreneur for 17 years now, and I'll be on podcasts and I'll share my knowledge, and I won't realize I'm giving such good knowledge, or I'm giving podcast tips or whatever. And I'll get feedback later on, like saying, "Dude, I needed a notebook." I'm like, just re-listen to it. It's a podcast. It's not a live show. It doesn't re-air again. Go back.
It doesn't expire. Yeah.
It doesn't expire. It's not like Facebook and their live thing that they're doing now, where they're like, "Get all your stuff off our system." I'm like, "Your Facebook."
Ephemeral, yeah.
They're trying to be ephemeral, or they're just trying to save disk space because they're running out of disk space. Facebook's running out of disk space. Give me a break. So how did this all get started? I love that question, because people are like, who is Anthony, and how the heck did you get into doing 7 companies, 6 of them, exited successfully?
I think I started just like, I don't think the start in entrepreneurship is ever really that interesting, because essentially what it comes down to is one of 2 things. Either you couldn't stand your boss to an extent where you're like, I don't want to work for somebody else's value system, or you can't hold a job.
Or both.
Which I'm on the both spectrum. I'm on the both. So I started as an entrepreneur because I'm too dense to be able to be a good follower.
Yeah.
I've now valued it, and now I've become a good follower after seeing how hard leadership is. But
flip side, yeah.
Early on, I mean, following is actually a luxury at this point, right? Somebody telling you what to do. How nice is that?
Wonderful. That sounds wonderful. Just tell me what to do. I'll get it done.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have to worry about the bottom line. I don't have to worry about the P&L and all that stuff.
Exactly right.
It's tiring.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Strategy is hard. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you're like me. Like, you're perpetually unemployable.
Yes.
And then you're like, well, I'm unemployable, then I'm going to start something. And you're like, well, not to lead? Oh, good God.
Yeah. Everybody thinks they romanticize this thing called entrepreneurship. In reality, it's a blue collar job.
We're going to take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and get right back to the show. Oh, it's a shit show. No, it's a shit show. I'll say it. Oh, because that explicit tag. It's a shit show. And then people think, oh, that you have freedom. You don't get freedom. Well, you work.
It's a different kind of freedom, right? Yeah, it's the problem is it's freedom is perceived as you get to do whatever you want to do. It's like you could for a while, but at some point you're going to have to figure out a way to earn money.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh my God, it's insane. So you have 7 companies, and 6 of them you've exited. So clearly you're a business person. Maybe you fell into being a business person. Like maybe not necessarily like knowing like what the hell you're doing with the first company, but after 6 of them, I think you kind of have a sense of like what the hell you're doing. Hopefully, no.
I would say I know a lot more of what not to do.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's it. Avoid the knots. So
Yes.
then you can succeed. Yeah, because
Yes.
it's like I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Notes.
That's what my podcast is literally about. It's like, all right, here's this thing that you're presented with. So we in my podcast, we cover a tactic or a strategy, a subject, an entrepreneurial thing for an entire episode. So we'll talk
Twice
about
a
one
week.
thing. So a lot of it is like, all right, here's how to avoid making a mistake in this area. Yeah.
I love that. And twice a week. I used to put these out twice a week because everyone's like knocking on my door to be on Entrepreneurs Enigma, shockingly. And I used to put these out twice a week, and I'm like, oh my God, that's tiring.
I'm actually doing it 3 to 4 times a week now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's insane. 3 or 4
Yeah.
times a week.
We're
And
having
people
fun.
listen. That's great. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
we're
always
having
good to have
fun.
some good content to dive into when you're, because it can be a lonely job being an entrepreneur, and knowing that someone else is out there doing the same thing you're doing and has made the same mistakes you're making or trying to help you avoid making the mistakes that they've made. It's incredible.
Yeah, we say that all the time. It's very lonely, but you don't have to be alone.
Yeah, that's kind of deep, but it's kind of true.
It is true.
You can be as lonely as you want to be.
Yes.
Because you can make it to like go out to an event, go out to a networking event.
But
Get out
it's
there.
lonely, right? Because the reason why it's lonely is because there's not a. This is what Chris and I discovered. Chris is my co-host. It's lonely because you can't. If you're going through an issue, you can't talk to your employees about it. You can't talk to your investors. You can't talk to your spouse. There's nobody to talk
They're
to.
not going to get it. Yeah.
For all kinds of different reasons. The only people that you can talk to, the only people that you can, that gets it are other entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
That's it.
Tough. It's tough. I mean, and that's luckily people like you who have been through it 6 times and currently going through the 7th time because he's insane. I mean, in the most lovely way possible.
Delusional is the word I use.
Delusional is the word. Delusional, exactly. But seriously, I mean, it's nice to know that people are out there willing to help, put podcasts out there, chat about it, share that, hey, you're not alone. You're not the only one that's facing this craziness.
Yes.
It's
exactly
special
right.
breeds of delusional to do this. So how long has the podcast been on for? How many episodes?
So
are you in?
we are on episode 80.
Nice.
And so we started, early last year. We're almost a year in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
we're
you're
just
established. I think when you hit 100, you're called established.
yeah. So we're it's a race to 100. Like we're I know we're doing the podcast thing wrong because we're not really focused on how do we grow an audience. Like we're growing, but it's not our focus. Our focus is just like get as much content as we can to start, and then look back at it and go, all right, so what do we got? And then start to make sense of it.
Well, that's what I tell my clients, because I do a lot of podcast coaching as well. And I tell them, I'm like, sometimes you just got to get started. Sometimes just get on the mic and chat. The first 2 or 3 episodes are going to be brutal and stupid and horrible. And you're going to look back at them at 80 to 100 episodes in, or in my case, 270 episodes in, and listen to the first 10 episodes. It's like, oh my God, what was I doing?
Yeah.
And I've been podcasting for
If you're not,
15 years.
Elon Musk says this, if you're not embarrassed of your first launch, you launched too late.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to be embarrassed.
Yes.
You have to be kind of like, learn from your mistakes is kind of the key. So what were the 6 companies that you did? I'm curious.
So a couple of consulting firms. The most recent exit I had was a company called Effective. It was a 150 person firm that built software focused on usability. So user experience is what
UX,
the technical term is, for Fortune 100 companies. So we built things for FedEx and American Express and the Office of Director of so the OD&I. So we just built big systems that cared very much about making the software not hard to use, making software not suck.
Wow,
that was our job.
That's a hard thing to do. That's a
Yes.
job. Oh,
Yeah.
making it so it's not hard to do. Because
Yeah.
sometimes when you get these Fortune 100 companies and you look at their software and you're like, oh my God, clearly a back end developer.
We literally wrote new programs, new systems for entities that were coming off of a green screen application.
Oh,
they're like, make this.
God.
I was like, the bar was really low about making it better, right? Really low.
Yes, you went to the stratosphere with that. That's awesome.
Yeah, mainframes the systems are running on vacuum tubes.
Oh, jeez.
Not even kidding.
And you're only half joking there too, probably.
No, I'm fully serious.
I love that.
Fully serious.
Oh, that's incredible.
They were running on vacuum tubes.
Oh my God! And you come in, you bring them into the 21st century, and it's like the second decade or the third decade of the 20th century is 21st century. Wow.
But now that I think about it, we were the first Doge.
I'm not sure if you want to be the first Doge. You made things more efficient.
Exactly.
Off in the process. Exactly. Love it, man. And so now you're a coach. You coach people too.
Yeah, I would say more. So less of a coach. I'm a roll up my sleeves kind of person. So I kind of do.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible coach, if I'm being honest.
Hey,
like just get out of the way. Let me do it. Just move. I got it.
you're doing it wrong. Let me do it. I'll get it done right for you, and we'll move along. Yeah.
A coach is more for people that so I give advice, right? I give and I'm happy to do that without charging anybody. But what I really enjoy doing is like getting in the weeds with somebody and figuring out problems together and then executing on it. Yeah.
And teach them how to fish, kind of like
show
them, teach them how to fish, and then jump out and say, "You got this now." I like that. You're a hands-on coach in a way.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, you can use that. I'll let you use that. I won't say that. You're a hands-on coach. I love that. So in your mind, what is the best thing about being an entrepreneur nowadays? Being an entrepreneur in the past, you've done it 6 times, you're on your 7th time. What's the best thing about being an entrepreneur over those 6 companies?
Well, there's a lot about being an entrepreneur. So in general, the best thing about being an entrepreneur is that I don't have to run my life on somebody else's value system. That's fundamentally the you don't have to make a decision by doing something that you don't think is ethical or feeding your kids, right? That's fundamentally the thing that you're
hard to find nowadays too.
Yeah, but today entrepreneurship has dramatically changed in the last year.
Oh, last week.
Yeah, because of they're talking about, they have companies that are like 15 people with $1 billion valuation. That's going to go down to 1. You're going to have single operators that can leverage AI and make a very successful business from it. So the rate at innovation using AI is unprecedented. It's unbelievable. I love it. It's so fun to just be able to and you can fail a lot faster.
How well it is.
Yeah,
it's creepy how good AI is, and it's scary how bad it can be. Like example being put glue on your pizza to make your cheese stick. But other than that, it can hallucinate. As long as you know that it can make mistakes, like nothing's perfect, not even the computers, you're on the right track. Check your AI output.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Just it's, but so can people, right? So AI can like me as an individual operator, I can do the work of 10 people now.
Isn't that amazing?
And so if I had 10 people, people are going to make more mistakes than the AI is. You still have to check the work.
Yeah, but that's the key. You still have to check the work.
Yep.
Even if it's your AI buddy versus your human buddy.
Yep.
It's key. It's key. So what keeps you up at night being an entrepreneur?
Comfort.
Oh, that's a new one.
If this is the life of, I think this is fundamentally the life of an entrepreneur. If you feel like you've got it, you're missing something.
Oh, I like that. It's so true though, because like.
So the thing that keeps me up at night is like, oh, I totally nailed it today. It's like then I go to sleep and I'm like, what am I missing? like my mind races like I'm missing something. The problems that I know about, I sleep on. I can sleep on.
Yeah.
It's the things that I don't.
Eureka, I get it. You know,
yes.
You wake up 1 o'clock in the morning with the answer. You grab your pad and pencil, you grab your phone, type it out, and go back to sleep and sleep even better for the second half.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
I love that. I never really thought about it. That if it goes too easy, you're missing something. I
Yep.
love that. I love that because it's so true. It's always like, and then you find the problem and you're like, oh my God, seriously.
Why did I see that? Why did I see that?
No wonder nothing goes smoothly. I think that's kind of the key.
Success and comfort are not compatible.
Man, you're dropping like one line like crazy here.
all the same
AI
stuff.
is gonna love you when I get these clips out. Love this. But it's so true. I mean, if it went easy that day, I mean, it's not bad that it went easy. You just don't take it for granted.
Exactly right.
And don't say that it's going to be an easy day every day, because it's not. It never is. If you're comfortable, you're not doing enough. There's a one-liner. If you're comfortable, you're not doing enough.
You're not doing enough. And there is something for me. So this is where I'm a little broken, right? I think for me, when I'm under pressure, I produce better.
Mm-hmm.
And so comfort not only has a problem that I'm missing something, but also I don't have the pressure to produce and output and innovate. I
love that.
So I'm always looking for things that are broken, because or sometimes I'll procrastinate on mundane things on purpose, because if I have enough mundane things stacked up, now I'm under pressure and I get them done faster and better.
It's so true, because under pressure, it's really something to be said about that. So what is the most important thing to carry with you all the time? This can be as woo-woo as you want to get, or as literal as you want to get, or both.
The most important thing to carry with you I don't think there's anything physical. Like, I wouldn't say my phone. Like, there's nothing physical.
You'd be surprised how many people say their phone. You'd be surprised how many people just take the easy way out. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, I wouldn't say my phone. I would say curiosity.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, curiosity. I mean, you kind of have to be an entrepreneur and figure out the next big thing and be curious. Like, what is that? Or why was this day so good? Like, why was this day easy? Be curious about it.
Yeah, it also makes life for the people that are with you unpleasant.
My wife's probably, when she hears this, she'll be like,
it's like, can't we just sit here and enjoy the restaurant? Why do you have to pick apart the way they're doing stuff?
Your significant other must love you.
She must. I don't know why she's with me.
My poor wife is like, oh my God. My partner's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm thinking of something. She's like, oh geez, there we go. Another project in the pipeline. I'm like, yep, another project in the pipeline. Love it, buddy. So people can find you at howtofounder.com. So it's spelled out. There's no number 2. There's no Web 2.0 cuteness. It's howtofounder.com. What's your biggest social media platform that you like to play on?
So we're big on LinkedIn. So I have a lot of followers on LinkedIn. We go LinkedIn Live with How to Founder.
You're fancy.
And LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook, but LinkedIn is really where
makes sense.
Yeah, that's where all the entrepreneurs are.
All the people banging their heads against the wall.
Exactly.
We're all banging our heads against the wall together. Yeah.
Everybody's selling somebody something else that has no money. Yeah.
I know. What's up with that?
Yeah.
And then you repackage it as a podcast, which is what I love. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly
Oh,
right.
You're doing multiple a week. My goodness.
Well, we're trying to get to 100 as fast as we can. And right now I have 250 episodes already outlined. Like we have a lot. There's a lot to cover for entrepreneurs. It's hard. And there's a lot of things to cover.
Sit there and sit on them and wait. Like
yes.
My other podcast, Digital Marketing Dive, is a monthly podcast this season. And I'm waiting until March. This is going to come out April 1st, April Fool's Day. Yay. But,
awesome.
Digital Marketing Dive is coming out March. The first episode of season 4 is coming out March 3rd. But it's done. It's edited. It's ready to go. I'm sitting there. I'm like, I just want to hit publish. I'm trying to stick to a schedule.
The wonderful thing about live from podcasting is there's no expectation of post-production.
It's so true.
Like, right? Chris and I wanted to create a lot of great entrepreneurial content, but we didn't want all the headache with it. It's like, well, why don't we just go live and they see us warts and all. I wouldn't say it's polished.
And then if there's a huge gaffe, like the internet went out or something like farted or something like that, then you can go back in and edit it later. The fart was live.
We'd leave the fart in. That's the kind of podcast we're.
Farts and all, not warts and all. Farts and all, love it.
Yeah, farts and all.
Farts and all.
But we've had guests where their internet just blanked out. We're talking to them, and they just blanked out, and then Chris and I just we laughed at it, and then we commiserated about the topic for the next 30 minutes, and it wound up being a great episode.
Or whatever happened.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about podcasts is that it's not effing NPR. It's not public radio. It's not buttoned up. It's real. Like our conversation, this is going to be minorly edited, maybe a few ums taken out if it needed to be or not. Mostly I put the bumpers on and I put the mid-roll in and I call it a day.
Yeah.
People are people don't overthink it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's also what your brand is, right? So our brand is blue collar, fun. We don't take ourselves too seriously. There are other podcasters that they need the polish because it's on brand for the company that they're working with.
They think they need the polish is the thing. They think it.
Fair enough. I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah, because I think a lot of podcasters who are really polished over edit. And audio, you might listen to it. It sounds great. You look at the video, and it's a jump cut. And it's not a jump cut, then a few paragraphs. It's jump cut, then a word, then jump cut, and then a word, and it's all schizo.
Oh man, I can't.
Oh, it's awful to watch.
It must take him hours to edit his show.
I know,
poor guy.
But you listen to the audio, it's fine. It's because the jump cuts make sense. But video, if someone's picking their nose on camera, I'll edit that out. Maybe I'll make a note at 10 something. So and so picked their nose. That kind of thing. But other than that, it's pretty much just what you see is what you get, and that's my whole mantra. So, Anthony, this has been so great to have you on. I love how 20 minutes just flies by. But this is great. HowToFounder.com. Check it out. Farts and all.
Farts and all.
How the founder, farts and all. Exactly. I love it, man. I love it, buddy. This has been so much fun. Check him out on LinkedIn.
Thank you for letting me help me get the word out. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. I always love giving back and sharing. And you'll be at 100 before you know it, and you'll be working towards the 200.
Yep, exactly right.
I'm working towards the 300. I'm like, oh my God, I'm almost at 300 episodes. I'm like, this is insane.
You're close.
Well, I got
90. You're 90% there.
I know. Now I got to start thinking about what I want to do for the 300th episode. I always like to try and do something fun and different. Like the first time I did it, Little Inside Baseball. First time I did it for 100, someone interviewed me. And then 200th episode, I forget what we did. It's been so long. Anyhow, How the Founder, go check it out. Anthony, this has been great. And we'll see everyone next week, actually.
That was a great show. If you're enjoying Entrepreneur's Enigma, please consider giving us a review in the podcast directory of your choice. Every review helps us reach new listeners. If you like Entrepreneur's Enigma, consider the other shows on the Marketing Podcast Network at marketingpodcast.net.
Goldstein Media hopes you have enjoyed this episode.